Up and we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the big, sorry, welcome to the Big Guilty Cigar Podcast. Today, I am joined by my boy Javi. You know, s- and I figured, me and Javi talk all the time, and he's all right. Take care. He's ex-military. Currently a police officer down there, and I don't know why my thing is going off, which is weird. So sorry, sorry how I get myself together.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah. So how if you want, you can introduce yourself to the people. I'm not very good at introductions. So
No
if you want to
worries.
tell everybody where you at,
How you doing? Yeah, my name is Javi50. That's how I go
yeah.
on Discord and on
Oh,
some of the live shows that I watch. Uh, I'm an officer here in South Texas, deep South Texas. I'm about 10 miles from the southern border. I've been an officer about 26 years. I did about 4 years in the Marine Corps.
yeah. I thought you did. I thought you did like 10 years there.
Oh no, I only did 4. It was fun, but it
Okay.
wasn't that fun.
Okay. Roger's in the building.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, Roger.
hmm Yeah. So so what made so was it an easy transition from going from the military into law enforcement?
Yeah. So I qualified for a lot more
Yeah.
than what I did. I just went infantry. I was looking for the hard life on
Okay.
purpose. I was a young kid. I didn't join when I was 18. I joined when I was 22. I was wasting my dad's money. He was putting me through college. I was just fucking around, drinking, partying, and
Yeah.
I realized, you know what? I'm not gonna do jack shit if I don't get my head out of my ass. So I did what I thought was the hardest thing I could think of. So I joined the Marine Corps. I went infantry. Part of my infantry enlistment was security forces, which is basically it's a fancy term for guard duty.
Okay.
And I was fortunate enough,
Yeah.
though. I didn't. I got sent. My first duty station was in Naples, Italy, Napoli. So I did 2 years, or
Nice.
about a year and a half, in Italy. Got to see a little bit of Europe. It was a fun time. Good stuff.
Yeah. My cousin, when he was in the military, he was also in Italy, but his wife was Navy. So he did 6 years in the military, and then after that he left the Marines, and his wife was still enlisted, so he basically followed her around for like 2 years, and then finally he was able to come back to the states.
Nice.
Mhm.
So the transition,
But
like you asked, it wasn't too hard. So security forces, like I said, security forces just guard duty, right?
yeah,
We trained with shotguns, we trained with pistols, and we trained with the M4.
okay,
And I had all the basic skills. As far as shooting, I didn't feel that I was qualified for a shit ton because I went infantry. So it made sense. I applied for border patrol, tried for customs and local law enforcement,
hmm
but there was hiring freeze in the federal government at the time. So local PD called me, and I've been there. I've been here 26 years later.
wow, that's amazing. So any chance of retirement? Because since you reached your 26, or you're gonna ride it out until to the wheels fall off?
So my only kid just started college.
Okay.
So I'm gonna stay in until he's done, so I can make sure he has the insurance, help him out if he needs it.
hmm
Um, so here in Texas, they have a veteran benefit
Okay.
for Texas veterans. It's
Yep.
called the Hazelwood Act. So you only had 10 years to use
Okay.
your GI Bill once you left.
Okay.
So I didn't get to use that for my son, but the Hazelwood Act pays for up to 100 in college, 150 college hours. So
Okay.
that's going to take him. That's going to take him all the way through.
All right. All right.
So
Yeah. Like that was one thing that like I always say, like my son, you know, so my son, he's looking to go into the military. If he doesn't get a scholarship, he's like, I don't want to burden you guys with having to pay for my college. So he was like, I would like to join the army. So you know, he he really, his mother's ex-boyfriend was ex-army, and that right there, like since he was maybe 13 years old, that was something that he really wanted to. That's something that stuck to him, that I couldn't get out of him. Because I say, and I told him, I said, if you want to go into the military, I'd rather you go Navy, go Air Force, go Navy, go Air Force. This way, when you leave, you can transition will be easier, and also too, I don't have to worry about you going over to war. So but the more I talk to you guys, the more I understand that the army has so many different jobs that he can also do.
so
So
if your boy's got a good head on his shoulders, pretty smart, scores well in his ASVAB, I would push anybody.
yeah.
Unless you're looking for the hard life, do not go Marine Corps.
Hmm.
That's you got to have the mindset for it.
Yeah.
And but if you're looking to go in and use the military, and everyone needs to understand too. So like I always thought it was funny. Oh man, I'm here for the
Hmm.
college money. I go,
Yeah.
they can send us to war. They don't give a fuck if you want to go to
Exactly.
college. They're gonna send our ass to fight.
Exactly.
Oh well, I don't think that's gonna happen. Well, maybe not, but don't be surprised if shit happens, right? So
Hmm.
Air Force has the most technical training. Then I would probably say the Navy second.
Yeah.
Uh, like for like skill, like if your boy's good with computers or stuff like that,
Yeah.
he can get a big jump in like cybersecurity stuff,
Yeah.
and then go and get paid good money out in the private sector once he gets out.
Okay.
Hell, if he's good at wrestling and he's not able to get
Yeah.
in, he should talk to the recruiters about, hey, my goal was to try to get a scholarship, but it didn't kind of work out.
Yep.
I'm a pretty
Hmm.
fair wrestler. I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind. Does the X branch have a wrestling team? Because I would sure be interested. And then he could
Hmm.
wind up, no matter what his contract is, going out and he does well, he could be wrestling for the military for 4 years.
Yeah. Which
Arnold.
also too, he with that right there, he'll be able to travel the world, because every branch, like, well, I won't say every branch, but every single um team has their own, like, basketball team, wrestling team. So whatever he's into, he'll be able to at least travel. So he'll be able to wrestle the German military.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Because
definitely.
Bobby Lashley was saying, after he went and wrestled for in the NCAA's, he went to the Navy for 4 years, and he was saying how he was able to wrestle all over the world. But
Hmm.
they had a team, and he would just wrestle against either U.S. teams or wherever he was stationed at. They would go and get on the mats and go.
Oh yeah.
So like,
Um,
I think one thing that's very, very, very interesting when it comes to the military now is these kids are different now, and that, huh? These a lot of these kids are they're softer. They always say, like, hard times make hard men, and right now we're in a very, 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 very soft time. You know,
I
so
agree. Soft time makes soft men. Soft men
yeah,
make problems.
exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see how the military switches now. So it's one of, like,
Well,
because you joined in what, in 92,
94.
94. Okay, all right, all right. Get home safe, Sanj. Oh, okay. All right. All right. I'll walk around. All right. All right. Oh, my camera went off.
No worries.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. You out of here, E? All right. See you later. All right. Take care. I definitely won't. It might be a little louder back here. Oops, sorry, Maddie.
What's going on with your mail over there?
Yeah. So.
What's going on with your mail over there?
Yeah.
My mail.
So, I think, over time,
What he's doing right now is trying to fly under
just the
radar.
fact that
I wouldn't want that job.
I'm a big supporter of the military.
You're a cop, and then you want to be higher. You got the higher
You know.
office besides the government. So a lot of people are doing a lot of shit.
So, oh damn, we got a full house back here. Gotcha.
It's a job though you should think
Alright.
about if you really want. I would not want to be the mayor of New York. It's too much. I wouldn't
The
want.
Grand Habano Corojo number 7.
Oh, nice.
Roger was asking when I was smoking.
Nice. And I am smoking the, I think it's the One of a Kind by Lugione.
Lugione, yeah.
He's doing what he thinks is best for
Well,
people. You don't have the right to call somebody that's right. All I can say.
What's going on, Ben?
Like I said, I'm a third generation New Yorker.
what's
so
your
I know well with that.
what's your son going to college for?
He's done right. You really think about it.
So he's in the biomedical
New York has never
program,
been
but he wants to be a pharmacist.
in this country.
Nice.
Everybody grew up with everybody, dude.
So,
We don't play that.
Now, like,
Come up with having
you know,
New York for a couple of years. He's an Uncle Tommy.
let's go back to your, most people always here for, your cigar journey.
Sure.
When did you have your first cigar, huh?
So, and it must have been about 2003, 2004.
Wow.
I was a bike patrol officer. So we're a small unit, right? There's 5 of us and 1 sergeant. We got a task. So we were kind of a troubleshooting unit. They would send us into areas that they were having problems, and we'd look for whatever traffic problems or whatever other problems they're having, and then we just saturate the area, traffic stops on bicycle.
Yeah.
Everything we did on bike. So
Whoa.
my sergeant was actually the one who's actually smoked cigars before.
There's ever been a politician that's
And so we got assigned. What was it that we did? We
was a terrible president.
got assigned a graffiti detail.
Mm.
A lot of taggers, right? They were hitting in the areas, and they wanted us to go and see what we could do.
Mm-hmm.
So we looked up a bunch of known taggers, got printouts of their photos and things of that nature, so we knew who we were looking for. And so we started working different hours. They were getting hit in a certain area. There was a lot of fresh tagging around this one park.
Yeah.
And it was during early afternoon. So I came up with the idea. I told my sergeant, well, why don't 2 of us go in plain clothes, sit around in the park, and just see what we see, and then see if we can, recognize this guy. So
I understand where things come from. When
he said, but we gotta look like we're, that we're shitheads, right? So we gotta look like, like we fit in, not like can't look like cops. So we didn't shave and didn't cut my hair and all that good stuff for a while.
After you're saying,
And he's like, hey, listen, because I got an idea. So he goes, we get in the car. We had an unmarked unit. And we're not investigators, we're officers, but we had a lot of leeway. They just go solve the problem, they told us, right? So then we go. He drives us up to one of the local to the at the time there's only one B&M, and then we grabbed some cigarillos, right? Look like small cigars, and so we're gonna smoke some of these. So they think we're doing weed.
Yeah.
Because people would cut them up and
Yeah.
I gotta explain that, right? So anyway, so we're there, we're smoking, and we're here looking around, and sure enough, there's a tagger that he's kind of aged out. He's an adult now.
Mm.
We see him, we recognize him, and then we see a group of people sitting with him. Sure enough, they all start rolling up a joint. And so we tell our guys, stand by, right? So we're watching, and they're looking around, and they see us puffing, they see all the smoke. They're all like, oh, yeah, those guys are good. They're smoking weed, too. And sure enough, so we wait. They puff, goes around the circle. Every single buddy had contact with it and took a puff. And sure enough, I go, all right, man, go ahead and come in, take them all. We arrested them all. So that older guy turned on some of the younger taggers.
Newer kids? Yeah.
Yeah, and gave us some info. So, we worked it for about a month or two. We made some arrests, and we stopped the problem for a while.
So my question to you when it comes to that is, now, don't you have to, like, for you to go undercover? Now, because I know up here you have to have like a regular uniform cop up here can't go undercover. Like undercovers, because they get paid more, so they can never go plain clothes. They always have to be in uniform.
So like there are cities like New York and LA, investigators are ranked.
Yeah.
It's just a position. It's a patrol.
Okay.
You're an officer. Your officer rank. Just have a special assignment to plainclothes investigations. So yeah. So no. So that wasn't an issue for anything we were doing. So anyway, so going back to your original question about cigars. So after that, then we went back and he knew Rocky Patel. That's the cigars that he smoked. So we started off buying. So we split a box of the Connecticut, and that was at the 1999 Connecticut's.
Yeah.
That was a start. That was my first real cigar.
Wow.
So he and I would smoke together. That lasted about 8 or 9 months. Then I kind of gave it up. I wound up leaving the unit after 7 years, and I went to crime scene investigations. I became a crime scene investigator, so I kind of just stopped smoking.
So being a cop in there, everybody talks about domestic cases. Because they argue 1 minute, but they say it's a high probability that they either the man or the woman always go back because they're like addicted to that toxicity. So like, how did you handle those type of situations?
Those are tough. So like a lot of the times you'll see that the woman just doesn't want to get hit anymore, and I get it. Who wants to get hit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But they never want to press charges because that guy is the one that works, and they stay at home with the kids or they don't work. So it's the source of income. So in Texas, if we have enough, if we through our investigation can determine that the male was the aggressor, and there's enough evidence that there was an assault that occurred, we can file charges on behalf of the state.
Wow.
The cases kind of fall through though, because if they don't have a victim, once they go to the DA's office to go and follow through, kind of goes. So you see, it's that case. You can beat the rap, but you can't beat the ride.
Yep. So
that's
I always
how it turns out.
So I always think like, especially when you're dealing with those type of domestic and stuff like that, like I'm pretty sure in your 26 years, you've seen some cases that probably just stick with you.
So I did, like I said, most of my time has been in specialized units.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate. So I was on patrol 2 years. Then I got on bikes. Bikes, we had specific areas that were mainly business areas that we worked.
Yeah.
I didn't see a lot of domestic. I didn't see a lot of domestic cases. So it's like those.
Yeah.
I kind of
stayed away from
some of those. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of activity with that because we had other assignments, different areas. There was mainly business districts, so we had different problems that we addressed. But when I got into crime scene investigations, I kind of saw the downside when shit went really bad, and they're taking photographs of bodies and stuff, collecting evidence and that nature. Sometimes it was from domestic abuse.
You out here, Matt?
Yeah, I'll see you on Monday.
All right.
I'm probably coming around too, but I'm going to be here for a while because I want to get that other stuff done with Son.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure, brother. You be well. Enjoy the diving, man. It's one of the best places on the planet for you.
Yeah, like, all right, Maddie. See you Monday. Maddie Rock, everybody. Yeah. Like, now I gotta get this thing. I'm trying to get myself kind of set up, get my stand out, stuff like that. So, and my phone keeps like going off, which is kind of frustrating. I just ordered. So my thing is how I'm like a phone snob. So I'm always getting like the newest technology. So, one thing about me is that I'm always getting like the newest technology. So this phone that I had, so I just got this brand new, the S25. So the first day it comes out.
Uh-oh. You freezing them?
Sorry, How. I don't know I don't know what's going on with. I don't know what's going on with the internet here. The stands are messed up here. It's kind of crazy. Like we used to have a really nice setup, but
we'll work with it.
So like you said something about the bike unit. So I take it back in the day. It was a much slimmer hobby, having to ride those bikes everywhere.
Oh yeah. So we had one unit assigned to us. That was a sergeant's unit. He had a bike rack. We pile all of our 6 bikes on it, and then we'd have a nice chest in the back, and that was kind of the rally point. So we were riding 25, 30 miles a day.
Wow.
Not like those nice light Lance Armstrong bikes that we ride the mountain bikes, and we'd chase cars and do traffic stuff. We did it all. It was good shit.
That sounds crazy. That sounds intense.
That's good times, man.
Yeah, shit.
Definitely shit you do when you're a young officer, though. I wouldn't do that shit anymore.
I believe it. I believe it. Like, I see when I lived. So like, I didn't move to Jersey until I was like 28. So in Jersey, you don't have to go to college to become a cop. In New York City, you need 2 years college. So that right there kind of deterred me from So that right there kind of deterred me from joining law enforcement, just because of the fact that I would have to do 2 years of criminal justice, and then go and take the test. And I was never a school kid. So I knew if I went to college, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm not gonna. I know for a fact I'm not gonna do well. So and that's not only for all right. Oh, P. Quick thing. I left my cigars up front. Do you have? Thank you. No.
Pop has the key.
That's okay.
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
That's a shame. In my experience, there are definitely some departments in Texas that require at least 60 college hours, right?
Yeah.
Before you can apply. My department, all you needed was a PhD, plain high school diploma, speak English. Of course, you take the entrance exam, the civil service test, which is a reading comprehension, and you would be surprised how many people would fail that. Basic reading comprehension. And then there was always a weed out process. Every step would weed out. The two biggest
More
were
people.
the two biggest weed outs were the physical fitness after the civil
Mm,
service. That was like a
wow.
50% attrition rate
Wow.
easily. So when I
So
applied, there was probably the largest openings they'd had in years. My academy got hired on a government grant for community
yeah.
policing, and there was like over 400 applicants, and for 18 spots.
Wow. So, but at the same time, you were able to kind of jump. I wouldn't say jump the line, but you kind of got higher priority because you have your military background, right?
So the way it works here, or it works here for my city, I got extra points on my test. Like I think I got 5 or 10 points
Yeah.
extra. So that bumped me. Yeah, I jumped ahead of a few people, but there was a fair amount of us that were prior military in my academy.
Mm.
Well,
You know.
maybe like 4 or 5. Yeah.
We have. You know, we got one guy here. He's a cop, but he does the interviewing process. And he says one big problem that we have here, especially when especially when it comes to females, and when they do their background check, they go, "Oh, do you have anybody in your family or dating anybody that's gang affiliated?"
Hmm.
And point blank, somehow, some way, they either date a drug dealer, you know, baby father's in jail, so like the baby father push them to do that, to get into law enforcement, because he figures that it'll probably make his process easier to either get paroled or and right away they get cut right off. They'll go up and get the phone call. Hey, is this you talking to this guy? And right there they're cut off.
That's
you know
crazy.
it's you know it up here it's so much different up here, as far as, because also Newark is a very big city.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Newark is a very big city, and the only advantages up over here is the fact that you don't have to do the schooling.
Okay.
In New York, for even if it's for become a firefighter, you still have to do those 2 years. So you still have to do those 40 hours of college credits, at least
Hmm.
40 hours worth. So
For
they want,
firefighters?
and yeah, for firefighters too. Yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
Eh, hey, Hob, I'm sorry, man, but you heard of the NYPD versus the FDNY hockey game, right?
Mm.
Oh, you never. Oh, I'm gonna send you the highlights of the fights. When I tell you the FDNY be putting these cops out.
Oh, I don't doubt it. They got all day to work out.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times can you watch Backdraft?
What's up, dude? Yeah. Yeah, he closed. Yeah. Yeah. So he went. You know, he went, and man, those cops were getting. They won the game, but they lost the war. The FDNY was putting hands. It was handing them. It was like 8 fights that night, and the FDNY beat them like they stole something. But it's a big event. So they have the game at the Garden. So they have their softball game at Yankee Stadium or at Citi Field, and then they have their yeah. Yeah, you should see if Patty can hook you up. Yeah. They have, and then they have their annual football game over at MetLife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
But
It's police culture is very different in the East Coast
yeah.
and the West Coast as well. Just
Uh-huh.
um, I guess the bigger cities overall. I mean, not that I live in a very small town in comparison, probably to Newark. Yeah, we're about 150,000
Yeah.
population. So I mean, it's big. It's a big town, and small city.
Yeah, yeah.
But in comparison, when you got like 500,000 people or a million people, you know,
Well, in New York City alone, it's probably maybe I would say maybe in New York City maybe 15 million, something around there. You know, but here's the thing: you would be very surprised the politics that go into it. So what happens is that you get a lot of these young kids that come out of Boston University, but their dad was a cop. So so after they got out of school, they got in. But 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 you got a 40-year-old guy who still wants to play. So the 20-year-old kid who is prime ready to go that would score like 8 goals, he won't get in because it's like a pecking order.
mm,
And it's a lot of politics involved in it.
oh yeah, I don't doubt that.
You know, it's one it's one of those, and I had no idea. So they actually did Barstool did a documentary on it, and you'll be amazed at how many of these guys played like college hockey. And then they had the FDNY had this one quarterback. He was like all state, you know, he was like all state football player, went D1 and had a shoulder injury,
Mm,
became a cop. He was a starting quarterback for the NYPD for like 20 years.
wow.
Like they said they said that he threw a prettier ball than damn Dan Marino.
Nice.
So,
Wow.
you know,
Sometimes the chips don't fall the way you want them. And,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. Hey, you know what? I would say this: jobs like that, you're not going to get rich, but the ends will meet. And to me, that's the biggest thing.
yeah.
The ends are going to meet. So, you know, always always go and I push and all right, take care. Have a good one. All right. I try to push my cousins and especially my sons. It's like, listen, like, you know, take the test. Doesn't hurt to take the test. Because I spoke to I've been planting the bug into my son's ear for like since he was like 16 years old about being a fireman, you know, and and I told him, I said, listen, you'll work 4 days. You'll do one 24-hour shift, and then you'll do like two 8-hour shifts.
Yeah.
Like you'll do like two, three 8-hour shifts throughout the week. But that allows you to get a second job. It allows you to get a second job. It allows you to do so many other things, and you'll be able to get so much overtime that
Yeah.
after the 3 years, you're going home with over $100,000 a year. And then you do your 20, you're retiring with a full pension, 100%.
Hmm.
So you can retire at 40, going to something else.
Yeah. Yeah. It gives you
You
time
know,
to go into the career. You don't have to work as hard.
yeah, yeah. So how's it work for you down in Texas, Javi? Is it 100% for you guys too?
Um. Yeah. I should really know that, but no. So we just barely, I'd say within the last 10 years, got 20-year retirement. It was always 25.
Okay.
So realistically, money wise, doing the other 5 years is totally worth it. You can leave at 20 if you already got another good job lined up.
Yeah.
Because at 25, your retirement money almost like just a just
A
a
little bit
tiny
more.
bit under,
Bit more.
just a tiny
Yeah.
bit under double for those extra 5 years.
Mm, wow.
Yeah. So it's worth it to do that 25. Like I said, unless you have something else lined up,
Yeah.
like a lot of our guys, like customs doesn't have an age limit. So you go federal
Mm,
and you go
yeah.
into the federal system, then you go do, and then you have to retire at a certain age for them, like 55 or 56. So you do another 10, 15 years, or if you're one of those guys that gets in at 21, you do 20 years, you're 41, you could easily do another, almost 20 years with them.
Wow.
And you're getting that money. Hell, you probably don't even need to touch it. Just go and roll it into something so it can earn more money for you.
Earn more money. Yep. And just keep growing.
And then so part of customs, they're required to do, I think, an additional, it's mandatory, like 20% of their salary in overtime.
Wow.
Of their base salary. So yeah, they're all making over $100,000 like after the fourth or fifth year.
Wow.
And then, so then you can hit up to, I think, GS 12, maybe GS 15, something like that before you get to the supervisor ranks. So even at the topped out GS level, which is basically just the equivalent of like just a line officer or whatever, or you could be doing something specialized, but you're not a supervisor. Just doing that, you're already making 120, 130,000.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good money to settle. So deeper pockets, better benefits.
Well, yeah. So did you think about doing that after you retire?
When I retire from law enforcement, I'll be at about 31, 32 years.
Wow.
I don't want to do law enforcement anymore. I don't want to deal with other people's problems. I don't want. Don't come to me.
So, so you plan on doing another 8 years?
That'll be like 6 years, up to about 6 years.
Yeah. Okay.
So my son is in his first year of college, but he's technically a junior because he did dual enrollment in high school. So he'll finish his bachelor's in. Technically, he would graduate in 2 years, but he's doing an extra year, so he can help pad his resume for a pharmacy school because he has to apply.
Nice.
And then that's 3 years, and then he comes out in 3 years. He becomes a doctor of pharmacy. He's a doctor.
Wow. So the question now is the wife going to be able to deal with that? You home all the time?
She's gonna have a harder time with the boy going away to college.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Do your thing, huh? Do your thing. Yeah, I'm hoping you guys are really enjoying this conversation right now that me and Javi are having. It's really.
I think you kind of froze.
Because I switched out. I went over to YouTube to make sure that I switched over. I had to go to Facebook and make it public. So this way, anybody who's watching on Facebook can also comment, and also people can also see it on Facebook as well. Nice. It's like, I think like, it's I don't know what it is about society that automatically like cops are bad. It is one of those things where it's like, oh man.
I can tell you that's simple. This is like so. I mean, it's kind of a running joke in law enforcement. Firefighters are always the hero.
Yeah.
The cops are always the
hero. Yeah.
And it makes sense because when the firefighters show up, they're there trying to fight to stop your
save your life,
burning or save your life from medical issues. Cops, when we get called in, you're having a family barbecue, you're drinking, and then you get the family thing going on. How do we solve a problem? Someone leaves in handcuffs.
Yeah,
you're arresting. Right. We're arresting a dad, a mother, an uncle, a brother, a sister. We're arresting somebody to that problem situation, and we're the bad guy.
Yeah,
and it is what it is. But I mean that's why and like any profession, there's bad apples and it sours the whole bunch. That's fine. I mean, it is what it is.
Oh,
more people. People die from medical malpractice, bad doctors' decisions if you really look at the statistics, more people die from that than actual police interactions. But that's fine. You know, the whole push for the defund the police, it's really a stupid idea. I mean, what are you going to do? Some of some states like New York, I mean, yeah, technically you can own a gun, but they make it so difficult for you to get it. You're never going to get it.
Exactly. Listen. All right, Hugh. Listen here. All right, you fucking chihuahua. All right. I've been arrested one time in my whole fucking life. And I remember like it was yesterday. But so the running joke with me and my cousins is who spent the longest time in jail. So I spent 24 hours, and then I had one cousin who spent then I got one cousin who beat me out. He spent 48 hours because he got locked up on a Friday.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he got locked up on a Friday.
And the judge wants to come in on the weekend.
yeah. Like, well, he got locked up on a Friday in Miami during spring break.
Oh, shit.
So not only did he get locked up, but he ended up missing his flight. So he had to miss like 3 or 4 days of work because of it.
Wow.
Yeah. Lawrence said something interesting about, we need more cops like Javi. And I think 85% of cops are like you. But, sometimes like you'll get the 5% who are assholes, and then you get the other 5% who are, power hungry.
Yeah. So working it, and you gotta be able to call it out within your own culture, right? So
yeah,
when you're a young cop, you're gun ho. I don't know. Do you ever watch that old movie Colors?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Pac-Man. He's gonna go and arrest everybody. Every young cop wants to get into the shit. They want the action. Yep. They want that everything they see on fucking TV and in the movies. They're fucking hauling ass to every call, and they're there instead of de-escalating, they're escalating, saying all the wrong things so they can make that arrest and get into the shit. Then after a while, thankfully, I've never outright got my ass kicked. And I don't claim to be the toughest guy in the fucking world. But if you get into a fight with me, you're not gonna walk away unscathed. And I'll take my ass whooping. But until you get that first semi-ass whooping, you need to understand that the uniform is not a fucking shield. It doesn't protect you from punches. It doesn't protect you from getting fucking stabbed or shot. And a lot of these young cops, they have that invincibility mentality. I got this uniform. And I'm like, hey, it's a fucking nice uniform, but it ain't that nice.
I think one thing that comes with it too is that people don't understand the minute things as far as resisting arrest. And also too, honestly, just me being a black man, you have to know that you have to be extra nice and de-escalate as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because that cop is already going to be tensed up. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, because he doesn't know you, and
the culture of the areas too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My area has some gangs, but they're really prison gangs guys that are out now. Some of them, especially if they're young, they're looking to. They still got that chip on their shoulder. The older guys that have spent some significant time in jail or multiple times in jail, they don't want to go back. So they'll play the game a little bit. They keep it cool, and it's all about respect with them. So you keep it professional. You treat them with respect. Don't give them a lot of attitude. Now you call them out when they start giving you attitude, and they go, "Hey man, why are you disrespecting me?" I go, "Well, bullshit. You started it. You want to disrespect me? I'm going to disrespect you. You want to be treated with respect? Give me some too, and this whole thing will change." And then, usually they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're right, man. You're right. Hey, that's cool.
You know,
I stopped you for a
I,
traffic violation, brother. That's all. I'm going to give you a
yeah,
ticket or a warning. So just
yeah.
chill out. Don't
And
make
know
it. It
what? And
doesn't have to be."
and I had to have this conversation with my son 2 years ago, and he goes, "Yeah, Dad, but I'm not gonna get in trouble." But I go, "Listen, like I'd rather talk to you about this now." And I said, even if the cop's in the wrong, do what he says. I'll deal with it later. I rather you get locked up for the wrong reason, and then and instead of you getting locked up because you were resisting or you putting up fight, you kill him with kindness.
Yeah.
You
Or
kill
turns into
you
something else, more violent. For whatever.
exactly
Because
for
that's
no
another
reason.
thing with young cops. So young cops, they're not tested tested in the sense that you don't know how you're going to react in a high stress situation. You can be like, "Oh yeah, I got all this training. I'm fucking badass and this and that."
Hmm.
Bullshit. When
Yeah.
you're in the middle of it, if you can keep your cool, you'll come
Hmm.
out fine.
Yeah.
And then you learn from that. Then you get these kids, that's why you see so many young officers that they're quick to pull that gun, and they're here looking around. They're more nervous than anything else. I said, hey, put the gun down. We don't need that. It's all right. Chill out. A lot of that
Hmm.
comes from experience. Experience. I was to tell you, your young officers are they just need to know how the world is
Exactly.
with this job. You're gonna get, like I said, I'm not the toughest guy. I'd rather talk out myself out of a fighting situation, which I've done multiple
Oh.
times, than to have to go and get hands on with somebody.
Hmm.
That's not good for anybody.
Exactly. Especially when you're dealing with, like you don't know, you don't know what that cop's been through, and you don't know. And being a cop especially up here, it's a very very stressful job. All right, you know, it's like being a cop up here is very stressful. It's hot. It's high in crime.
Yeah,
And honestly, like a lot of cops up here feel like they're handcuffed, especially in New York City.
yeah, because I
So,
think they go through civilian review, right? Like if they get into
hmm,
the officer involved shooting, you go
yeah,
through civilian review, which is okay, fine. It's in on paper that sounds great, but have those people ever had to make those kind of split-second decisions in a high-stress situation where things are moving so quickly? You're trying to make the best decision you can in
hmm,
that moment, and it's
yeah,
it's all bad. That's why everybody, it's really great for the command staff to go and criticize all the movements you made and go, yeah, you weren't there,
yeah.
and
You
you
know
ain't you
what?
haven't been out there in 20 years, so you don't know what
Exactly.
it's like anymore.
You know, like I was I was talking to you know to one of my cop guys, and and this is actually a point that Joe Rogan made up. What I made up, but spoke about was the fact that cops should always go and every 6 months or every 3 months just go through de-escalating training.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't been through de-escalation training in forever, you're not gonna know how to calm somebody down. You're just gonna be winging it.
Well, the
Oh,
other thing too is, say if you're so
okay.
I was once I promoted, I became sergeant for our bar district,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you've ever been to Austin, Texas.
No, I've been
So
to Dallas.
okay, so in Austin they have it's fairly famous, the Sixth Street,
Yeah.
which is the bar district. It
Yeah.
was very nice. They always had it well manned, lots of officers, like a cop in every corner, basically.
Mm,
And the college kids go and unwind. Yeah, shit happens every
mm,
so often, but it was never really. It's gotten worse, probably in the last 10 years. But regardless, so our city thought that they were going to be all badass, and they go do that, and it's a fucking nightmare. It's a
I
fucking
believe
nightmare.
it.
That whole area is just a pain in the ass. So I was a sergeant there for 4 years. And you need the right kind of people to work that, because you have to be able to turn on the aggression and turn off the
Off
aggression.
the aggression. Yep.
And even that, even if you know how to turn it off, you are slightly more aggressive because you're always dealing with drunks and people who are already getting into fights, and so you become more aggressive. So what I had recommended to my upper command was, I go, look, I need to be able to rotate a couple of these guys out every other month or so. So we have another bike. We work that on. We have bikes and patrol cars. So when we go work the bars, starting about 10 a.m. to 4 a.m., we're all on bikes because we
Yeah.
can get around the crowds way easier,
Yeah.
faster.
On
And the
bike.
bikes are
Yeah.
actually bikes are very good tools. You get about 3 or 4 of us together, we can do some riot techniques with the bikes. Use the front wheel to bump people's chests, push them back.
Mm-hmm.
And if worst case scenario, you toss the bike into them. That's now an obstacle that ties up their feet, gives you that
Mm-hmm.
separation, so you can get some time to either draw your
Yeah.
weapon, pull out your nightstick, your PR-24, whatever it is, and take care of whatever needs to be taken care of at that point. I
Mm.
said, look, we need to rotate some of these guys out. Some of them are just too aggressive. They can't turn it off, or it's
Yeah.
going to turn into a problem. They're going to start escalating stuff that doesn't need to be escalated anymore because they just become so aggressive. It's like people training dogs how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
They start off as just dogs, right? And then you just make them aggressive, and now they're always aggressive.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing, same
Well,
kind of concept.
I think the one thing too is when you go up here, it's like, we have a lot of ambulance chasers. We have a lot of people who look for, the first thing they'll do is, oh well, this is this, can I go and get the media involved in this case?
Mhm.
Because like during like the 2000s, maybe 2003, anybody who got arrested for anything got out. Like the DA up here, Alvin Bragg, is terrible for Manhattan. He lets everybody out.
Yep.
So there was a incident where and this was during COVID time, and this guy was walking his daughter. He had a 11-year-old and his 3-year-old daughter, and a guy rolled up on him and just started shooting. The guy went up and covered his daughter. They caught the guy. The guy was out. The guy was out on bond for gun possession. And my thing about that is, if I get caught with a gun and I go out, I'm not showing up to the court date. Why? That's some those are some things that don't make sense.
Oh,
You
without
know,
a
it,
doubt. I mean, because now you have police who are doing what they need to do, but they don't have the
yeah,
talent to back them up.
they
Some of these
they
people just
don't.
need to be in jail for a while. They need to be taken
Yeah.
out of circulation. And
Well,
then, and that's the other thing too for criminals. So now they know they can get away with it. So
hmm
what's to deter them
but
from like just escalating their crimes?
well, now we have a huge problem now in Manhattan now, where everybody's just grabbing and going. Like they'll go in Neiman Marcus, grab whatever clothes, because security guards can't stop them. If you're a security guard, if a crime's going on, you can only sit there. You can sit there, and basically you have to sit there and just record, do nothing. Uh,
Yep.
So,
Professional witness is what you are.
hmm that's it. It's like but what happens is they'll go and they'll come from out of state, commit the crime, and normally it'll people from Pennsylvania will come up, hit something up here, and then go back down there, and they'll sell it on eBay.
Hmm.
So now the problem now is that a lot of places like Lululemon, you know, Neiman Marcus, all these expensive stores, they're all like, no, like we're moving out. Like we're losing too much money in profit, from theft, because also too, if it's anything under $1,000, they let you go.
Yeah.
So you know, like in think about and so on 34th Street in the CBS on 34th Street, they actually have a security guard that has a canine to keep the homeless out because because they said that what they were saying was that certain stores will go up and give like homeless people a list of stuff to grab and they'll pay them for it.
Hmm.
So it's like so it's like a network.
Wow.
So it yeah so it,
I don't doubt it. No, I don't doubt it, man. That's crazy.
but it and the one thing too is that mayor of New York, a cop,
Yeah, that guy.
you know, like mayor, but like, and he's always and the first thing he always says is my hands are tied.
Yeah.
Like that's his first run to for everything. My hands are tied. My hands are tied. There's nothing I can do about it. He's like, yeah, do I want crime to go down? Yes, but you know, like the way the laws are, I can't go and like he was trying to bring back stop and frisk. So he recently banned the face mask.
Mm-hmm.
So now he recently banned that you can't go into a store. You can't go into any store with a face mask on.
Good.
Also, too, but one issue I think is too is that with these kids is that if you're walking around with a face mask on, like you're looking for trouble. There's no other reason for you to have that on.
Mm-mm.
Like
Not really. Not
you're walking,
anymore.
you're walking around with a shiesty mask on. Everybody's like, "Why are you covering your face? Like, are you up to no good? What are you plotting?" So it's going to be interesting to see how things change in the next 4 years because what's going to happen is so I think Alvin Bragg has made I think his net worth is like $10 million now, and he's been a DA for like 4 years, but that's not your salary. So where'd you get all the money from? But nobody investigates that.
Nope. They don't. Yeah, that's the dirty politics, and
Yeah.
that falls back on the people. Why are you voting the same people? And what's
Mm-hmm.
the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a
Mm-hmm.
different outcome. Doesn't
A different
happen.
result. Yeah, at all.
Yeah.
You know, like it's and I always just wonder, like, I don't understand why, and especially in black communities, and like, is crime is like so high, and it's like, and people feel like that's their only option, and it's not. It's like it's like making an average living isn't good enough because they feel like, well, the only way that I can to show my success is by flaunting cars, jewelry, Louis Vuitton, Gucci belt. When
It's
you don't need that stuff.
it's culture. It's
Yeah,
culture.
yeah.
They watch the videos of the rap culture, and it's
Mm-hmm.
it's the gangster lifestyle. Look at all my money. Look at my cars. This and that. That's what I want. I want big
Yeah,
cars. I want big money, and I want hot bitches. And like, okay,
exactly.
not everybody gets that, bro. Like and whoever told these people that life was fair lied.
It's the lies.
Skinny.
Really skinny?
Stop talking
Really?
shit about the Cowboys. Skinny. I know they suck, but don't talk shit about
Yeah.
them.
Fuck you, Eagle skinny.
The birds.
Fuck the birds. Them birds gonna get shot down next year. Yeah, like
Let them live it
you know,
up. They
yeah,
won.
yeah.
They won.
They
Fair and
won.
square.
They won. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
I rented it, Matt.
yeah.
This is. I got to turn it in
Is
tomorrow.
there exactly? he did just my podcast. He
Yeah.
was like, I'm coming over. Let me go and look fancy. and it just makes you wonder, like, like, especially like, there was a rapper, Gilly the Kid. So his son got murdered for being on the wrong block, but the kid who murdered him was like a honor roll student, basketball player, could have went to an Ivy League school, but they said that he had 7 bodies when they shot him.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and it's like
Yeah.
it just makes you wonder, like, why, like, how do I prevent you from going left? And you don't understand that it's not easier. It's actually a harder life. Like, one thing I always say about hustlers is that y the money that you make, you spend. So you're not doubling your money. You're just scraping by to make to rebuy the same amount that you did. You're not doubling your profits.
And
Gotcha.
look, you score big. You're sitting
Mm-hmm.
around 100 grand, right? Sounds like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
money, but then you go and buy a $90,000 car, and you buy
Mm-hmm.
gold chains, and you buy jewelry, and you go out and you're ordering champagne, you're buying top shelf alcohol for all your friends.
All your friends, yeah.
Everyone loves everyone loves you when you're on top, and then as soon as you hit rock
Mm-hmm.
bottom, where are all your friends then, right?
Exact. Nowhere to be found.
Exactly.
Nowhere to be found. And
You
that's
know,
and that.
there needs to be, I my opinion on that is that there needs to be a shift in culture. They need the fathers need to be fathers. They need to be men. Teach your sons to be good men, and
Exactly.
if you're gonna make a dent in this shit and end that cycle.
And that's the
I don't
problem, that they don't want to do that.
Mm-mm.
They don't want to do that.
Well,
You know that.
women have way more attitude now. Like the dating apps, even average looking
Yes.
women are pulling guys that are, because they don't care, as long as they can get a piece. They'll throw you're a notch in the belt. Hey, they're not gonna
Ex-
marry you.
exactly. Well, that's the problem too, and most people don't understand. These chicks living on air mattresses. You
Yeah,
know, like, these chicks are living on air mattresses, and these people believe that they're living these high, you know, uh, lifestyles, and no, like, they're sleeping on the floor. Just looking for the next sucker
yeah.
to
Because
go and
you're gonna pop out a couple of kids. They're
exactly.
gonna get older, and they're gonna look for the next young girl. They're not looking for you anymore.
That's the problem. But they don't teach them that. And it's another example is that is you got the kid from the Houston Rockets, Jalen Green. He's 22 years old, and the girl that he's with is 40 years old. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Sorry,
She
Patty,
put
I'm
her
trying to
hooks in
find
him
it.
quick.
Huh?
Once
Yeah.
once
So,
once once he realizes he can get young women, that chick's gonna hit the
yeah.
road.
Oh, nah. She got. Know what my thing is, as if you have a father in your life, how could your father say, no, this is okay? You know,
Yep.
that's my thing. Like, like, as a father, you're like, yo, what are you doing? Like, this chick is twice your age. She's the same age as your mother. Why are you trying? Why are you dating somebody that's your mother's age?
I agree.
So
Cradle robbers.
yeah. Oh, for real. Like, but she knew the play. He just signed a contract for over $100 million.
Oh yeah, that's our meal
You
ticket
know,
right there.
yeah. Well, for her, it's like, oh, okay. You know, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find a fight for these guys, and for some reason, it's not ESPN 2 yet.
Uh,
Yeah. So, if I was home, I would have my normal setup, but trying to, like, 15 things at one time.
that the lounge area for Sanj?
Yeah, yeah. This is the lounge area right here. As you see all the boxes back here
Yeah.
that
If I ever
Sanj
go to
has.
Jersey, if I ever go to Jersey, I'd definitely like to go check out his shop.
Yeah. Oh, so I got you.
I don't know how to fuck with this.
Yeah. Listen, man, you gotta make your way up here, man. You make your way up here, man. But, like, you treat it like gold up here.
Nice.
There we go, Patty. No problem. Yeah. All right. Now I'm back. Yeah, but like it like always joke with my son, and I go, if I ever see you giving any of those Twitch girls or e girls any money, I'm just telling you.
Yep.
It's but so during your time in the Marines, there was no cigars, no nothing.
Nope. I really wish I had been into cigars back then. I think about the time I spent in Italy. Back then, I could have had so many Cubans. Cubans were reasonably 94.
Yeah, yeah.
Just wasn't into it. Didn't know anything about it. Didn't know anybody that did it. So everyone was smoking cigarettes or dipping. So
yeah. So what's some of your like? What's some of your favorite moments of you smoking a cigar? Was it have you ever went and smoked with your dad? Maybe your uncle?
no,
Have you had one with your son yet?
Yes. Yeah, and then the wife found out and she got all mad at him. But oh well.
But to me, those moments to me are some of some of the best moments.
Oh
Like
yeah.
for me, like like the first time me and my dad had a cigar together, even though he only finished the first third, it was something that he knows that I'm very passionate about cigars, and he sucked up his pride, and and he sat and had a cigar with me. Even though we both got yelled at by my stepmom, but it was something that was worth it, and to me it was a real bonding experience.
Oh yeah.
And and I told my son that when he graduates, he has no choice. He's gonna take a couple puffs of a cigar for graduation.
Yeah. So I had I wanted to smoke I was only able to get one God's Whisper. I was trying to get a
Okay.
father and son, Opus X, a father and son, and we were going to
Mhm.
smoke that. Graduated, but never worked out. I had the one, so I wound up smoking it by myself because my wife had already found out that he smoked and got upset.
A hater.
Yeah, but I mean that's fine. I mean her
Yeah.
dad was a heavy cigarette smoker, and when we
Mm.
got married, he had already had a stroke or two. So they lived with us since I got married. He passed away in 2010, and my mother-in-law's still around. She just got married again, so she's
Yeah.
she lives like half a mile from me.
Nice.
So yeah, so then both my parents have already passed. So I'm the youngest of five. So I think Dad got Mom drunk one night because there's a big age gap. My sister is in 6 years. My oldest brother's
Wow.
12 years older than I am. Yeah, my oldest brother's
Wow.
12 years older than me.
So it was so for him it was every 6 years.
Mhm. No,
Yeah.
my oldest, then my second oldest brother, 10 years older than me, then my
Oh
other
wow.
brother, 8 years, then my sister, 6.5 years
Oh
older than me.
wow. Oh, and so and what what do you mean you're pregnant?
Mhm. No,
You're
I
like,
think
what?
my dad wanted another. My mom didn't, so I think he got her a little
Oh yeah,
tipsy.
yeah, yep.
So,
He was like, oh, he was like, oh, is that let me get one more boy. So it's four boys, one girl.
yeah.
Oh man. Oh, so she must have it rough because any guy she brings around, I'm pretty sure you guys are on them like were on them like hawks back in the day.
Yeah, my sister's a bitch. Poor dude she was married to. He passed away. He had a massive heart attack.
Oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's been a while already, but I mean,
Yes, sir.
but
Like,
yeah, I mean, no one in my family smokes. My dad was a
wow.
cigarette smoker.
Yeah.
None of us smoked. I didn't, like I said, I didn't start smoking cigars. I never smoked cigarettes. I didn't even get into cigars. So I tried them back in 03, 04. And then I started up again in 2022.
You know, one thing that Sanj says is most a lot of the times most people that smoke cigars never smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know, they just went right into cigars and just skipped over cigarettes. Most people, like, I never smoked weed, never smoked cigarettes, and for me it was right into cigars
Same with me.
out the blue.
No,
And
no,
you know,
no drug use at all for me.
yeah,
I remember in my interviews, they asked me like 8 different ways. So you've never smoked any marijuana? You know, like asked me that question like 8 different ways. Nope, nope.
hmm
Polygraph test. Nope, no, just never did.
yeah,
I never saw value. I never saw value in it. I had friends that did it
yeah.
and stuff, but I mean, I was never. And they
Well,
knew
you know
too.
what?
Hey,
Yeah,
like, hey, Javi doesn't smoke. Don't ask him.
exactly. I think the one thing also is just the fact that you got people, you know, like for me, I always feel like after people smoke weed for 20 minutes, they're done. There's no conversation. You know, like everybody's just they're just in space lane. And for me, I never really wanted to get like that.
Yeah, I didn't even start drinking until I was like 6 months before I turned 21.
Wow. I didn't really get into hard liquor until maybe I was like 28, 29. And then once I got into cigars, I started getting more into whiskeys and bourbons.
I tried, just didn't have a palate for it. But then again, when I was in the Marine Corps, so alcohol was so easy for us to get.
Exactly. Yeah.
It wasn't good liquor. I mean, I could get a fifth of Jack and a fifth of Jim Beam for like $6 at the alcohol store. They call it the 7-day store. So when I was in
Wow.
Italy, we had alcohol cards. We were only allowed 5 bottles a month. I was like, 5 bottles? That's a lot of fucking liquor.
Yeah.
So then and then any case of long neck
Mm.
24 case, like a full case, not like these 18 packs they got now.
Yeah.
$10 bottles, long neck.
Wow. Wow.
And so we were, as soon as we were done for our training for the day, or if we were, so we did guard duty. We do a week on, a week off, and then a week of training, and then we go back to guard duty. So it was 3 platoons. So we'd rotate like that. So when we had that off week, we do, we'd run the 3 miles every morning. It would smell like a fucking brewery. We'd go through,
Yeah.
kick out our 3 miles real fast and come back, and they give us some information, whatever. Then by noon we were done. There we
Wow.
were, and
Back at
all
the bar.
new guys at the platoon. We're like, hey, you and you and you 3. And we'd all pitch in. You bring up about six to 8 cases, and then you and you, we'd all pitch in, go get some meat. We're gonna grill up on the roof,
Wow.
and we'd party all afternoon there till about dinner time, which is about 5. We'd go eat, shower, then we'd all meet up, and then we all go to the enlisted club, and we were there till
Wow.
1. We did that every night, every fucking night.
Wow.
That was,
You
that
know,
was milk.
it's
I
you know,
puked on every bottle of alcohol there was: vodka, tequila, whiskey, and I just like tequila still makes me shudder. I don't just the smell of it. I'm like, ugh.
So back in the day, when my boy used to work, he used to work in the same hotel as me. We would go to this tequila bar next to the job. We would be there for shifts. We would be there for like 8, 10 hours. and our bill would come out to like $80 because the bartenders loved us because the second we got in, I would tip them right away, $20.
Yeah.
Second we walk in, hit them with a nice 20, and they would just go in and just keep up, and then people always came up to us and just for some reason started conversations with us, and it'll be the craziest thing, and we always end up meeting the most interesting people. Like we would meet people that were doing like their career was like deep sea diving,
Oh, shit.
and they would get in and they would talk about just the like the pressure levels and just like the feeling of like going that deep in the water and like passing out,
Fuck.
you know because they'll be like, yeah, we try to, like you start off at going like you're in the middle of the ocean, so you will start off at going 200 feet, then 300, then you'll try to get like 1,000 feet down, and people will go down, and you know like literally like go limp, and to me, I don't understand the excitement in it,
That's.
you
I
know.
mean, I'm slightly claustrophobic,
Yeah,
but not like rooms or anything. But I can imagine being in a dive suit, just having that helmet. It's
yeah.
pitch black. You're 1,000 feet down. Not even sunlight can reach you. That's
Well, here's the
fucking.
well here's the
That's really
thing.
nerve wracking.
They're going down without suits.
Oh shit! They're out there just like
Yeah,
free diving.
yeah. Free diving. So they're hooked to this harness, and they have to basically swim down for as far as they could, and then they kind of have this like emergency like cord, and that emergency cord just like shoots them back up. You know,
Hmm.
so that emergency cord shoots them back up. And a lot of them because of that they end up passing out.
Oh yeah. Well, there's that
You know,
that decompression because
yeah.
you can get air bubbles in your
Hmm.
blood
And your
if
lungs,
you,
yeah, yeah,
if you come up too quick.
yeah,
I don't know what the ranges are for the diving, but that's crazy.
yeah.
One of my
That's
one
something
of
I
my
can't.
cousins, I'm not very close with him, but I know about him. He was a Navy diver,
Wow.
so he was a master diver. Did 20 years in the Navy. He was he was a welder for the Navy, so he would go down and do repairs. So
Wow.
that's crazy. That's crazy shit. I don't know about that. That's why I always imagine that fucking helmet. They go down with all that gear.
Mm. You know, I can't like all those Red Bull events where people are like risking their lives, like bike riding, you know, with no harness, no equipment. If they fall off, they're dead.
Oh yeah, no, thrill
You
seekers, man.
know,
Fuck
yeah.
that.
Fuck that is right. Like there's not enough adrenaline in the fucking world for me to do that shit.
I'm not that. I don't mind having a little bit of a thrill, but
Cool, that's no problem.
nothing that's going to end my
No,
life that quickly.
it's really one of those, they always say, in the military, when it comes to your first kill, they say you never really get over it. But then some people are just after that they're just numb to it, and it's become like machines where
So
where
when
it's
I served during a time of peace, 94 to 98 was the time I finished. There was
yeah.
no we were in no real major conflicts. But when you're in so law enforcement, I've had to fire once. I've
Wow.
been shot at a couple of times. It's stressful, but I mean, you know, when
Yeah.
you're in the middle of it, you can't think about it, and you just need to react, and you need to do what you need to do. Uh, Thankfully, I've never had to take anyone's life, so I couldn't tell you about that. But I would imagine a lot of the soldiers in the beginning, when they got into their first gunfight, you don't even know if you're actually hitting anybody. You're just putting rounds down range.
Yeah.
Sometimes, especially at night, you really can't even see the target. You're firing where you see the muzzle flash. You're firing in that direction. You're firing in that direction. So, yeah, I can imagine. That's, we have a whole generation that spent 10, 15 years in conflict.
Yeah.
After 9/11. So, I'm sure we got a lot of damaged veterans out there.
It's, it's one of those things where, like you're fighting against somebody that you have no idea about.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't know them, but in their mind, and in your mind too, like you're fighting for your country.
Yeah. When you're in that shit, you're not fighting really for your country. You're fighting for the guy who's next to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're fighting for the guy who's next to you. You're not thinking about the USA. You're not thinking about your pride or your national pride and all that. You're thinking about, hey, this is my buddy. We're going home.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of all this, we're going home. You're going home. We're gonna go to your house. I'm gonna bang your sister.
Exactly.
And we're gonna get drunk. We're gonna get drunk, and then it's a different thing. But yeah, definitely once you're in that situation for a prolonged period, yeah, you have to become numb. You have to numb yourself because there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, that's you're doing what you're doing what you're told. The military doesn't pick the fights. We get told where we go fight.
Exactly.
And if you have a problem with them, they'll see you on their way out, and it's not a fast process. So it's probably faster for you just to do what you got to do and hope you come back in one piece and then get out.
Wow. Yeah. I just got to address one comment from Nick. Nick, losers don't get their comments read. You had one job last week, and your boys didn't do it. All right. You had one job. Losers don't get their comments read. No, I'm just, I had to throw that in there. And if Sherry is still here, I love you, Auntie. All right, but I hate your damn Redskins. So I had to throw that in there real quick. That's a great comeback, Nick. That's a great. Oh man, but
that one.
I can't. I have no comeback for it. I think it's like the other night we were discussing just the VA, and I really wish that people like the U.S. took more pride in taking care of its veterans.
Oh yeah.
Because like a lot of people complain about the VA and how it's ran and how everything's delayed, and you can never really get truly the services that you need.
Yeah.
I'm
barely getting all my benefits done. Actually, I'm pretty much done. I just need to go register with the VA itself. That's just an extra insurance for myself. I still have what I have with the PD.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping. I know there's a big list of things for number 47 to get done, but I'm hoping he just a little bit. Things got cleaned up a little bit under his first administration. I'm hoping he comes back to the veterans and really get some things fixed up. So we'll see. Hopefully,
it's these are
the people that and you think about it. All the services were not meeting their quotas by any stretch of the means the last 4 years.
Yeah. At all.
Once Trump won, I don't mean to get this political. I mean, because
no,
I try not to. I have very strong political views, but I don't tend to argue them out with people because if you're that far, if you have your beliefs and they're that strong in the other direction, we're not convincing each other. We're just getting into a fight and not worth it. But anyway,
Exactly.
I don't get paid for it to argue for my my political views. But anyway, so just that month alone, they doubled their recruiting efforts. It was an all-time high.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing.
All-time high in once he won in November, December, record-breaking enlistment rate.
Well, I think that's for two reasons. I think that people trust him enough to know that he's not going into war.
Yeah. He's
You
not
know,
looking for
like he's not at all. And like you have to think about this. Like he during his first term, he was able to go to Russia. He was able to go to North Korea. He was able to go to all these different places that your normal politician can't go.
Oh yeah.
So you if you want to talk about somebody who's about peace, that's the way you do it. You go to these countries that say, what's the real problem?
Well, so they know
You
too
know,
that he doesn't fuck around.
yeah,
That's it. That peace through strength kind of concept. He's got that down pat. They
yeah,
all know now that he's not the guy to trifle with.
exactly.
And our Americans, as much as we were in a decline militarily, we're still the strongest military force in the world. So it's just now
Well,
that he's not afraid to flex
our
our
muscle.
stature, superpower, yeah, our muscle.
Hmm.
So, so if I have to do something, it's because you forced me. Is
Hmm.
really this is what he's telling everybody. He says, I'm going to do something, but understand it's not because I want to do it. It's because you're leaving me no choice, and I'm going to finish it. It's not going to be a
Yeah,
prolonged thing. It's going to be done, and it's not going to be good for you or your people. So, and I think a lot of them respect that. That that's the thing. Like a lot of those Middle Eastern countries, they respect strength, and they know
yeah.
that he
That's where
you
he
know
exudes.
he just pours it out.
Hmm.
I'm gonna light up my God of Fire since it is Fuente Friday.
Nice, nice, nice. What's up, Tom? How you doing, man? Burning time. Burning time is right. And the cool people. Nah, that's on Thursday nights, man. Thursday night got all the cool people. You
Yeah, that's
know,
what all the kids are.
that's where all the cool people are. You know, like so
Damn.
since you've been in the cigar community, is there anybody is there any blenders or brand owners that you were looking that you want to meet?
Shit. There's a lot of them I'd love to meet.
Mm,
It's funny too, because only to those of us in the cigar industry are they celebrities, right? They don't feel that
yeah.
way about
Mm-hmm.
themselves. And but it's to me it's more of I just really appreciate the work that you do, the quality of the cigars you put
Mm-hmm.
out. I'd love to meet Saka. Maybe I doubt I'd ever get to have a long conversation with him, but just to talk with him a little bit, that'd be great. Herclock's another great guy.
Yeah.
That guy just seems like just a cool, chill guy. A lot of the guys in the industry seem that way. I'd love to meet any of them. I had the opportunity I went up to San Antonio. Was it last summer before, something like that. Um, my wife's family was having a family reunion up in San Antonio. I had some downtime, so I was able to go to Cigars International that they had just built. It was
Mm.
only about 2 years old at the time, and they happened to have an event that weekend. I met EP Carrillo, talked with
No,
him a little bit.
man,
He signed my box.
man, I love Ernie. Like, it's crazy. I met Ernie one time before in Miami at the headquarters for EPC, and then I met him again at in Vegas for Big Smoke. And I'm like Ernie, I met you. He's like, yes, I remember you. I remember who you are. And and he sat there, and and he spoke to me for about 20 minutes because, like, he still had a line of people there, but and he was just asking my opinion on things, and I found that so fascinating, and he was just talking about price points, we were talking about price points and good tobacco, and just connecting with the people, and now he's getting more of a online presence, because his daughter really runs the social media side of EPC. So I believe it's the daughter and the husband,
Okay.
you know. But I feel like a lot of brand owners don't take advantage of doing Instagram live
Oh
because
yeah.
people want to be able to ask questions but also connect with you at the same time.
Huh. Oh yeah. And I really appreciate these brand owners that do, like you're
Hmm.
talking about, that take the time to connect with the people who are smoking their
Uh,
products.
yeah.
We're not industry people, but we're the people who spend our hard-earned money on your
Hmm.
stuff, and it's wise to
Exactly.
get it's wise to get some feedback. We don't need to
Yeah.
know the ins and outs. How did you blend this? How many leaves did you throw in there of this and that? I don't really care about all that. Just like, hey, you know what? I really enjoy your cigars. I appreciate what you do. I enjoy cigar smoking. Your brand is like one of the brands I really enjoy. That just to be able to give them that feedback, and then
You know.
for one, that's positive feedback for them, and then two, to get a pulse on their community. Are my cigars hitting with the people I'm making? Because
Well,
like Saka.
you know.
Saka says he makes everything for him, his
Yeah.
flavor, and if you like him, great. And I understand that I'm sure he wants good feedback though.
I think, but at the same time, that's kind of his stick. Because everybody has a stick, and soccer stick is if you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. You know. And I think the hardest thing, just being a brand owner in itself, is just because you like it doesn't mean the consumer is going to like it.
Yeah.
So you have to have people that you trust, and you trust their palates at the same time as well. And that's one of the biggest things, being able to trust the people around you to say, all right, I think we have a hit here. Because there's nothing more demoralizing. You putting your name on something that doesn't move.
Oh yeah.
You know, just and being here and just seeing how Dessange grew his brand in itself. Like I've been here from the beginning. So just seeing how his mind works, how the process, how he does things, and seeing that side of it blows you away. You
Nice.
know,
Son seems like a nice guy. I mean, I see
Sanj
how he is in
he's
the
a great guy.
lives. I see how he is in the lives, and he's busting balls, right? And
Yeah, of course.
that can come across a certain way to certain people. But when you're with your boys, you talk a certain way, and you just happen to be on a video
Yeah,
live
yeah.
like
Well,
this.
I always say this. I say that for me. I always say this when I talk about. I say there's really no in between. It's either you love them or you hate them. You know, like because that's just who he is. Like he's not going to change for nobody. If you like it, that's fine. If you hate it, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But he's not going to change to appease anybody. And I think
Yeah,
that's one
and
thing that
shouldn't.
that people really,
At the end of the day, you got
you
to be
know.
true to yourself. So I mean, there's no sense in putting up a persona, uh, and then you're actually an asshole. Everyone thinks, oh man, he's such a nice person, he's so great, and you go talk to him. What the fuck are you talking to me for?
Hmm.
You're like, fuck you and your cigars.
Yeah, like, and the one thing he's all you know taught me is you know never um
Kind of lost you there.
never Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Okay. My mom was calling me. I'll call her back after the show. But and she killed everything I was just thinking about. I hate that. I'm like
Thanks, mom.
I'm like Dory. Yeah, I'm like Dory from Finding Nemo. Like 1 minute I'm good, and then the thought just slips.
Yeah.
You know. So it's like being here, you're kind of able to see a little bit on how the bread is made. See, so you're able to look at the business in a different way. Like if you're willing to learn, he'll teach you, and he takes pride in that because he's a teacher. I
Nice.
at heart, he's a teacher at heart. So he'll sit here and talk cigars and tobacco with you you know for 15 hours, for as long as you want to hear it, because
Nice.
that's all he knows.
You know,
So he loves
he's kind of
go for
he's kind of unique because you'll get shop owners like take that guy from smoking, right? He's real
hmm
involved, but he's never I don't think ever gone through the process of making a cigar. He sells it.
hmm
As
yeah,
he knows his business. He knows how to sell. He's really good at what he does. He does good stuff to keep his store and his brand going, right?
exactly, yeah,
Sanj is a little unique in that he uh, he actually has cigars that he's involved in making, as well as selling everyone else's
hmm
cigars. So
exactly.
yeah,
you know,
that's interesting too.
you know I think the biggest, like, because it's one of those things where a lot of other brand owners have to travel. Sounds to travel, he's here. So if you ever want to meet him, come to the shop. He's here. He's always here.
Nice.
Like, it's one, and that's one unique quality. People come from all over. They go, oh, I was just in the area, and I really wanted to meet you and shake your hand because you make amazing cigars.
Nice. Yeah.
So and I seen him go from having 4 cigars to now having, I would, damn, what, 10 different facings right now.
Oh,
you know, and that's not including all the sizes.
wow.
And he's always working. Like something like that. He's like, all right, well, what do I do for 2026? What am I working on for 2027?
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that. You know, so he has an amazing gift for that. And like and that's something that I don't take for granted because anything tobacco related, I can always run to him and ask him.
Hmm.
But he always says, don't misquote, do your research, and if you have any questions, you can always ask me. Don't go making shit up
Yeah.
because he'll tell me get my cigar, and he'll scold me for like an hour and a half. Yeah, so
Nice.
that's just one of the things, and that's one of the beauties of this shop.
Yeah,
So
got to get my butt up in the East Coast, and I got to go see
listen,
Sal and guys, and all the Cali guys too. I got to go out there.
listen, like like I tell everybody this, like I work for a hotel, so anytime I can help anybody else, and I can get them a discount, I can get them a friends and family rate. It's yours.
Nice.
Just give me the dates. I can check for you. If there's something, if I can get you a hotel you know for my rate, I'll check. Like the only thing is I will have to check you in.
Yeah.
I'll check you in. The room is yours. You
Nice.
know
Appreciate
because
that.
like,
Yeah.
of course, because like, it's family, and you always want to take care of family.
Oh yeah, that's all I like
You
about. That's
know.
another. When I first got
Uh,
into smoking, well, this time around, like this is serious cigar smoking. I enjoy it way more. I was
Mm-hmm.
doing it to do it. Now I'm smoking it because I enjoy it, and
Yeah.
I get much more out of it. The
Yeah.
community overall it's great. I mean, I love the cigar community. I like what's going on CUD. CUD's a great community. A lot of great guys.
Mm-hmm.
Peter's put something really great together
Yeah.
in the Discord, and then all the guys, all the reviewer guys that are part of it that do the unbanded. That's so unique. It's a unique experience, and you get in their packs, and then you get to smoke with
Yeah.
them, and you kind of interact. You know, it's good stuff, man. I mean, I'm hoping that it just continues to grow, and just glad I know a lot of the guys there. It's fun stuff.
Well, you know what? It's one of those things where it goes like I'm looking for a lighter right now, but it's one of
Yeah.
those things where like you would never think that they're so welcome. You know, and that's the one thing too. That everybody just brings like I remember like the first time like my first ever guest I ever had on a podcast was Martina Maya. I emailed him and he was like, "Yo," so yeah, I'll hop on. And like for me, I couldn't believe it. Like getting dog on the show and getting that friendship, and then from meeting dog to meeting Kaylin, meeting the rest of the infamous, and then meeting Peter. It's a big community but small at the same time.
Oh yeah.
It's big but it's small, and I think the one thing is that especially when it comes to newer to the new I say new blood when it comes to cigar content, everybody just wants to work together and just keep growing the community. Like
Oh
there
yeah.
is no like nobody wants to be the Highlander. Like
Yeah.
I'm the one. Everybody wants to help each other out. You know, like especially when you see guys just bombing each other.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
just
That's
just
awesome.
just a, just able to give people something, be able to give people something that they haven't smoked or something that they really enjoy. You know,
Yeah. Or it's just not available in your area, and they're able to help you out because
exactly,
they have access to it. That's great.
exactly. You know, it's really so it's really one of those things. And Hugo, nobody wants to pull up on you, Hugo. Nobody wants to go to Cali to see you. All right, like you'll be the last person somebody wants to go in Cali to see.
It's
You know, yeah. So
going Keith.
you know, thank you, Fluff. Hey, you know what? Like, well, I'm not home. I'm at the shop, man. What you want me to do? I'm at the shop. So right, I'm at the shop right now. So I gotta do it from the cell phone. If I was at home, I would I would have the mic set up, the big guilty in the back.
Yeah.
You know,
I had to up my game, otherwise I can't be a guest. Whenever Peter lets me smoke with him on the live. So,
hey, hold up.
Black
Let me
Friday,
see if I
baby.
can. Yeah, for real. Hold on. Let me see.
Here, let me grab a beer real quick.
Go for it. Go for it. Uh, uh, yeah, right now, because Sal's calling me out on my background right now. So I'm trying to see if I can get my layout proper and get my green screen going.
There you go.
Nice. But it's not letting me. Or at least I don't know how to do it from the cell phone. So
I know. If I ever smoke in the garage again for a live, you throw a Texas flag or
mm-hmm.
something in the background.
Uh-huh. Have
Put a
that
cowboy
Texas
flag.
pride. There we go. There we go. I know, Sal. I know. I love man. Listen, man. Still to this day, man. It's meeting like just meeting Sal in person. You know, like meeting Sal in person was amazing. You know, they say they want the full setup, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, if it wasn't cool outside, I would be in my back patio. So
Mm-hmm.
I already
Listen,
had
listen,
I already found a spot for my little boom mic on the back patio too.
yeah. Oh, first of all. I'm sorry. What is it? 70 degrees over there by you now?
We got another little cool front. Y'all got all that snow and shit. We got the tail end
It
of it,
was
so it's
bad.
like it's been in the 40s and 50s.
What? Oh wow,
That's
yeah.
that's
But
that's like winter. That's like dead of winter for us.
yeah, we're actually getting more snow tomorrow up here.
I think it's gonna go back up into the 70s and 80s this weekend. Then we get another cool front coming in, drop us back down to the 60s. So I mean, it's not real winter in your all's terms, but for me it
Yeah,
is.
nah. Listen, I wish it was 60 degrees right now.
Well,
If it was,
it's not bad, but the thing is when you sit and you got that wind, and we always have a nice breeze, and that
hmm
50 degrees with that little wind, and you're not moving, it sucks after a while.
oh, it sucks a lot.
Mhm.
It sucks a lot. You know, see, I wouldn't mind moving to Texas. It's just you motherfuckers got all types of wild shit down there. Like y'all got scorpions, y'all got motherfucking copperhead, those damn copperhead centipedes
Oh
that
yeah,
are
yeah.
fucking big as shit.
Well, if you're out in the country, you live in the cities or the towns. I mean, it's not that wild.
You know, you got black widows there.
I don't see any of that shit around here.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Okay, all right.
Very
I'm
rare. I mean, you gotta live up, country life. Yeah, you'll get more of
mm,
that.
oh, I can imagine that in Wyoming. You know, oh, are you out in Wyoming, Keith? God damn.
No, Keith,
No.
Keith really lives in Cali, but
Okay.
I think he went to a
Listen,
vacation, a lodge or something in that area, and so he got snow and cold wind.
listen here, Hugo. Anything not in the tri-state area to me is Western and country. All right. If you're not in the tri-state area, to me I consider it boonies.
You live that city life, but we got cities too. You want
Yeah,
to live in Houston, you want to live in Dallas,
yeah.
Austin, San
Uh,
Antonio.
I wouldn't mind Houston, man. I would not mind Houston. The only problem with Houston is is wild right now. As far as dating stuff like that, it's kind of wild out there, man. It's really really bad when it comes to that kind of stuff right now.
Nah, you're better off going to San
Like,
Antonio.
first of all, Charles Barkley said, "Ain't no cute girls in San Antonio."
Come on, man.
Bark,
Well, depends on what he likes. Hey,
you know,
I'll tell you, just watch out with Hispanic women.
uh,
Ain't nothing but trouble.
listen, I got my oldest son is half Dominican, so I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
I remember I would come home from work, and like my son he would crawl to the door, and I'll pick him up and I'll come in there and she's playing like her like Hispanic music, and right from there I knew I did something stupid, and I did a lot of stupid shit. I was young and I was dumb and I was wild. I was stupid, but so somehow some way she would find out that I was doing something stupid, and I would try to go. I would go lock the door, have my son in the room, and she'll be sitting there trying to get into the room. And I'm like, I'm like, I'm not coming out until you calm down. And she So I learned the hard way.
He's making it worse.
Yeah, making it worse is right. Because she would wait like 3 or 4 days and then explode. But time, like throughout time, I'm grateful. Like I always say, like me and her we have like with both my kids and mothers, I have an amazing relationship with both of them. Like whenever they call, they need something, they get it. So and me and my oldest one, we can't be in a room for more than 20 minutes without arguing, and it'll be over the stupidest shit. It'll be like, you know, oh, there you go, Cliffy. No problem, no problem, Cliff. It'll be over something dumb. It'll be like, you know, like like she stole my phone charger one time, and we argued about for 2 hours over a phone charger. And my son is just sitting there like, y'all two. He was like, yeah, all y'all do is argue. That's it. You know,
There you go.
and I go, cuz your mom does dumb shit. That's why. And he'll go, well, you do dumb shit too. And I'm like, yeah, but she did something this time. She
You're
like you guys
but, but
act like
two wrongs
kids.
don't make a right, son.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, he's like, you guys act like kids. So, but yeah,
Keep it
so like,
spicy.
yeah, exactly. But so like we she sends me all of his wrestling matches, and she goes, oh, you're too hard. Like she'll go and say I'm too hard on him and this and that, and but she has to, but I always tell her, like, listen, I'm raising the man. Like
Yep.
I'm not raising. He's not a boy anymore. Even though he'll be 18 next month, and I'm pretty sure you go through the same thing, Hav, where you see your son, but you still see him as that 11, 12-year-old kid.
Oh yeah. Your
And
your
it's like,
kids, regardless of their age, they're always your kids.
always your
But
kids.
and I told this to my son too. I said, son, I have 18 years to get you on track. I said, after that, when you're on your own,
Yeah.
you're doing your own life, then
Yep.
our relationship changes from me being so much of the I'm telling you
Dominant.
to you and I,
Our
we build that friendship relationship.
friendship. Exactly.
Yeah, I have
Our-
to make sure you don't make the mistakes I do. That's mainly what you're
exactly.
trying to teach them. Don't do the dumb
Exactly.
shit I did because I already
I
did it.
did. Exactly. I've been through it. Hey, Nick, have a good night, Nick. It's Valentine's Day. Don't make no more babies, Nick. All right. It's
Have a good night,
Valentine's Day,
Nick.
so all right. Don't get no trouble. All right. Yeah, but like always, and this could be bad on my part, but I always judge people who like, I don't want to have kids, and I'm like, because you don't understand the joy that you get. Like for me,
Oh no.
it's one of the most rewarding things when when your son says, Dad, I want to do this, or Dad, just hearing it, like to me, there's no better feeling in the world, like just being there and doing stuff with them, for them, building memories,
Oh yeah,
and
without a doubt.
and also
For
just having my dad say, you're doing a good job.
oh yeah,
I don't have
that's it.
knuckleheads, so you know.
Right.
So always say I got lucky because I got friends who kids are knuckleheads.
That was
And
work,
you
man,
say,
and that was just a lot of that is just being
yeah,
present, and not just physically, but like I'm. I need to know, what are you doing? What's going on? Talk to me.
exactly. Talk exactly,
Why are
and
you up my ass? Because I need to be.
exactly, exactly, and And that's one big thing too is like later on they appreciate it, well, and they appreciate it and they pay it forward, you know, like you always want to go and you build your legacy by making sure your kids are better than you and your grandkids are better than your son.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely. You
so
know, I heard it said, and I kind of agree with it. A man's real legacy is their children.
yeah. Hmm.
'Cause you can be the most successful man in the world and be a shitty father, and you're a failure.
Well, sorry to say this, but like that's kind of when you look at Elon, Elon's a wild boy. Elon got like 8 kids, you know,
Yep.
and as busy as he is, it makes you wonder like how much influence does he really have on his kids' lives?
But
You
he's
know.
he's kind of an anomaly. I mean, he's that mind in a generation,
Hmm.
and
Well,
not that it's an excuse, but he's got so many things going on.
yep.
But look, the other day he was in the Oval Office with the president at a press conference. His son's there
Hmm.
picking his nose right next to the fucking presidential desk. He's there
Yeah.
fucking digging for gold,
Yep. You
crawling
know.
all over him, and he's just
Hmm.
talking. You know,
You
that's a
know.
good dad.
It. Yeah. You know what? It's very because like Steve Jobs, and if you see his movie, like he was so focused on Apple, that he was just like I wasn't able to be the father that I wanted to
Mhm.
be. And it takes a lot of sacrifice. Especially like honestly, like if you look, but that just goes back to cigar makers, brand owners. Think about how much they're on the road. Think about the sacrifice that they have to make as
Oh
a
yeah,
brand owner to where you have to miss all of those important events because you have to be somewhere.
just
You
being
know,
a business owner,
and
trying to
it's
make a successful business to provide for your family. I
exactly yeah.
mean, I miss law enforcement. Good example. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't always have good days off. Started off,
Yeah.
I never had weekends. I For years I never had weekends off, and when is most of the family events happening on a
Yeah.
weekend?
Exactly. Yep.
Couldn't make it. If I couldn't get a vacation day,
Uh-huh.
I'm working. Can't get. I'm
Yeah.
not going to be there.
Yeah. Because you want to be at at those baseball games. I want to be at all my son's wrestling events. I can't be there, but you know what? Like I get a video of every match that he does. And then, after the match, me and him, we sit and I go and hit the screen share button and we go over every single moment of the match, you know, to the point where, like even the people at the shop are saying, you're being too hard on him. I'm like, I'm not being hard on him. I just need him to understand that, it takes a certain level. And in order for you to get to that level, this is what you have to do. These are things you have to
Yeah,
sacrifice. If you want to be good, it's about sacrifice.
yeah. Do you want to be? Do
I
you want to
think
be average? Do you want to be above average?
great.
It takes
And that's
a certain amount of sacrifice and on their part as well, and it takes
hmm
dedication.
and that's just not with you know because yeah, you wrestle now, but you carry that mentality into the workforce.
Mhm.
Like you take that mindset that I've all right, like I've been through worse. I can grind it out. Like all right, man, I really want to go home, but you know what? Like I can push through this.
Mhm.
And really just getting them to the point where it's like, you know what? Like I've been through stuff. Like you know, like I can go. I can my mindset can get me through anything, and that's the hardest thing. Because look at Trump. Trump says that he only sleeps 4 hours a day.
Shit, if he
You
sleeps that
know,
much.
most successful businessmen, you know, they're there for 16 to 20 hours a day. You know,
Especially when it's your own business. I mean,
exactly.
you have to take care of it. No one's going to take care of it like you.
Like exactly, exactly. You know, but we're at the 2 hour mark, Hav. Listen, man, I really know what this. Always enjoy these conversations more, just because of the fact that like you don't really you don't really do the cigar reviews. You're just a regular person. We're able just to chop it up, man.
Yeah,
And
man.
these conversations I really love.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate you inviting
You
me.
know, yeah,
I know we couldn't make it work the last couple of times,
yeah,
but
yeah. Because I
with
had to
that,
work, so yeah,
yeah, me too.
yeah,
But
yeah,
hey, we got
yeah,
it in the books. I had a good
yeah,
time. I'm having a good time. Some
yeah.
good smokes. That's the thing about
Hey,
cigars too. We're here chopping it up, enjoying good cigars,
exactly.
and
And
let the conversation flow.
let the conversation flow. Hey, and if you guys know, take your ass to the Discord. If you're in the unbanded Discord, take your ass to the unbanded Discord and keep the conversation going. You know, and enjoy your cigars with friends. All right, and you guys know the vibes already. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, if you like the hat, you can also DM me at Inomatic on Instagram, and I will show you all the colors I have in the hats. The hats are $25 a piece. If you buy three, I'll give you. If you buy three, sorry, if you buy two, you get one free. If you buy two, you get free shipping. So, guys, until next time, tell a friend to tell a friend. How I need your address. I can ship you out one. Until next time, guys.
Definitely.
Peace.
Thanks.